The battle for New College's future, a former insider's bold move. In a surprising turn of events, a former senior member of New College of Florida's administration, Nathan Allen, has become a driving force behind a controversial proposal to privatize the institution. This move marks a significant shift for a conservative insider who once supported Governor Ron DeSantis' ideological agenda. Allen, a New College alumnus, served as Vice President of Strategy and Special Projects during 2023 and 2024. However, his experience within the administration left him disillusioned, leading him to believe that the college's future is uncertain under the current leadership and state control. A multi-million-dollar vision for independence. Allen has put forth a detailed plan to gradually reduce New College's reliance on taxpayer funding over the next decade. He argues that the surge of state funding, which fueled the college's conservative transformation, is unsustainable and cannot be guaranteed in the long term. His proposal, if implemented, would require a tuition increase and usher in a second major transformation for the college in a short span of time. This college is at the mercy of Tallahassee's whims, Allen told Suncoast Searchlight. What happens when the state decides to cut funding? We need to ensure the college's survival. Gaining support from unexpected allies. Allen's campaign has gained traction among prominent figures, including Nancy Parrish, a former board chair of the John and Mabel Ringling Museum Foundation, who opposed DeSantis' attempt to transfer the museum to New College. Ben Brown, who resigned as Alumni Association chair over concerns about the school's $50 million endowment, is also on board. Their support reflects a growing concern that the college's current path is unsustainable. Allen's argument is backed by a range of factors, from falling test scores and classroom management issues, to the belief that the college's academic rigor has been compromised. They not only messed up the execution, but also engaged in hypocrisy, said Brown, a divisive proposal. When asked about Allen's proposal, President Richard Corcoran was dismissive, calling it a dead zero. He emphasized the college's pride in being part of the top-ranked state university system and its commitment to offering a traditional liberal arts education. Once known for its unique, left-leaning student body, New College became a focal point for DeSantis' higher education reforms. The governor replaced trustees with political allies and installed Corcoran as president. The new leadership's actions, including eliminating diversity programs and launching an athletics program, led to faculty departures and alumni backlash. Financial concerns and transparency issues. Amid these changes, financial transparency concerns emerged. The administration's spending on new initiatives, coupled with Corcoran's multi-million-dollar compensation package, raised eyebrows. A Suncoast Searchlight investigation revealed that former finance officers were dismissed after questioning the use of private donations for the president's salary. Rising costs and doubts. Allen, with a background in venture capital and educational technology, was hired during the transition period. His personal blog, where he criticized higher education and progressive politics, positioned him as an ideological ally of the new leadership. However, he soon realized that the transformation was flawed, relying on political funding and misguided admissions policies. In his privatization pitch, Allen highlights New College's high cost per student compared to other state institutions. The state spends approximately $91,000 per New College student, significantly higher than the average of around $10,000 for other state-run institutions. State funding for the college has nearly doubled in recent years, reaching $66.5 million in 2023, the year DeSantis initiated his overhaul. If you care about government efficiency, New College is a prime example of financial mismanagement, Allen said. It's wildly inefficient. Allen also criticizes the college's admissions approach under Corcoran, arguing that the recruitment of student athletes and declining test scores deviate from the school's historical role as an honors college known for its rigorous academic standards. Allen believes that private funding can produce better outcomes more efficiently than public funding. Unlikely allies unite. Allen's libertarian argument for privatization might have been met with resistance in the past. However, the current situation has united unlikely allies. A faculty member, fearing retribution, expressed support for the privatization idea, believing it could preserve the college's academic programming. "I've always loved that New College is public and affordable," the faculty member said, "but I don't think it will survive without change." The influx of student athletes has impacted classroom culture, with professors facing behavioral issues and management challenges. Ben Brown, the former Alumni Association chair, hopes that alumni will have a say in any public campaign to shape the college's future. "Initially, I saw some merit in the conservative critique of higher education," Brown said. "But as the school restricted speech and limited access, my optimism faded." Brown's support reflects a broader shift in sentiment, with even former supporters of the Overhaul now questioning its direction. Allen's idea, once seen as provocative, is now part of a larger conversation about the college's identity. A larger trend? The notion of privatizing a public liberal arts college may seem radical, but it aligns with a larger trend in Florida. The state has a history of outsourcing public services to the private sector, with K-12 education being a prime example. "There's been a significant movement towards privatization," said Aubrey Jewett, a political science professor at the University of Central Florida. "Looking at it from that perspective, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem." This story was produced by Suncoast Searchlight, a non-profit newsroom serving Sarasota, Manatee, and DeSoto counties.